You know.
But Robert, one of his functions as the owner and publisher and editor of a magazine, Coagula, is that he has to guide people as to what kind of art to buy, what kind of trends are in.
I understand that. I understand the duties of an art critic. Absolutely. Absolutely. And he's a remarkable person, you know, and I've always appreciated his work. But on the other hand, there's other critics that I've had to deal with personally that have cut me up, you know. So my take on critics isn't all that great.
Are there any that you do like?
Well, Carlo McCormick.
Oh, he's a friend of mine, too. Yeah, I think he's great.
Carlo McCormick is one of the most remarkable writers in New York. And,
yeah.
He's extremely intelligent. He's functioned in the New York Underground, the L.A. Underground for a long, long time. And, I can't say enough good about Carlo.
Tell me about the recent show you had at Tony Shafrazi's gallery in New York.
Well, I've been with Tony for 18 years now. I've had a number of one-man shows in New York with him. And my recent show took me 4 years to put together, and I pulled out all the stops. Enormous amount of work. Some very tight oil paintings, some loose oil paintings, some questionable oil paintings, a lot of drawings, prints, and 2 9-foot sculptures. So I went all out on this show.
Well, I went to see the show several times, and I was amazed, 1, at the size, 2, that you were doing sculpture, and 3, that you did wallpaper.
Well, yeah, that was a new twist.
I couldn't believe it. It was like the show we just saw of Birchfield at the Hammer, and he was a wallpaper designer. And then to go into your show, suddenly it was like everybody's doing wallpaper. Well, how did that come about? And there were little faces in the wallpaper.
My work is so ostentatious and baroque that it needed something to make it feel like it's part of the environment.
Right,
and the wallpaper welded my work into that environment. Tony's got a very, very large gallery, which looks like really more like a museum.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, and I had 6 rooms to fill, and the wallpaper united all the work together.
Did you have music of any kind?
I did.
That's what I
did.
thought.
I had classical music, I had punk rock music, I had disco, industrial music. I had a whole variety of different kinds of music there.
Now, Tony Shafrazi is a very intimidating person. He was the one that years and years ago spray painted Guernica.
That's right.
How did he get away with that and never go to jail? Nothing ever happened.
Well,
and why did he do it?
Up until recently, Tony wouldn't talk about it, but he's found that he gets a lot of attention because other people have written it up. You know, when I first went to, when I first become part of Tony's stable, people were telling me, don't ever worry about getting in the modern, because if you're with Tony Shafrazi, you're a dead duck right there.
He'll
never touch you because of Guernica.
Yeah.
But Tony was a roommate of Robert Smithson's. It was back in the 60s.
You're kidding.
And Robert Smithson was getting up one morning and taking an airplane flight looking for land to alter.
This was in Salt Lake City?
Yeah, for his earthworks.
Oh my, I had no idea.
And Tony was supposed to get up and go with him. Well, Tony slept in, and Robert Smithson went off and got killed in the airplane. So Tony lost his marbles. He flipped out. Not only was this a problem, but he had an issue about the Vietnam War and the values of society, and started questioning even the values of art. So he went into the Metropolitan, and there was Picasso's Guernica up on the wall, and he had some kind of water-soluble paint, and he wrote, "Kill, kill, die," and before he could get the next die written down, the guards grabbed him.
I can't believe it.
So, anyway, they took him down, they arrested him and took him downtown, and the museum made an agreement with him if he kept his mouth shut. And the word didn't get out how easy it was to pull a prank like that they dropped charges.
How did they get rid of it? Was it water soluble?
Water soluble.
Oh, okay.
Well, anyway, the irony is, Tony, when he opened this new gallery about 5 years ago, he started off with a Basquiat and Picasso and someone else's show, And he's figuring someone else like him was going to come in there and mess up his Picasso, so he had someone sleeping there with a gun.
This is Molly Barnes, 88.5 KCSN Art News. I'm talking tonight with the fabulous Robert Williams. Robert, I heard you took the city of New York by storm. I heard that you were feted by Larry Gagosian and Jeffrey Deitch, who's our new director at MoCA. They all came.
Shafrazi threw a party in my honor afterwards. It had more than 100 people at it. So.
And what about the reviews?
I got a lot of good reviews, but then again, the New York Times castrated me.
What did they say? No, what did they say?
They always do that.
Who was it?
A guy named Ken Johnson.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he clipped my seeds, and I was, but he always does.
Well, what did he say?
Well, he said that my work was dry, lifeless, and finicky.
Oh, no.
So, but then he's had some comments to cover that up. I don't. He's always Molly. He sees me for what I am, I guess.
Now, when you were
he sees through my thin veneer.
When you were in the Helter Skelter show that Paul Schimmel curated 19 years ago, I cannot believe it's that long. At MoCA, you had a very similar thing happen. You offended people. They picketed the show, and he said that he will never have you in a show there again.
That's right. That's what he said. Yeah.
What, didn't that offend you?
Well, it was an unfortunate situation. There was a lot of politics and a situation that existed there that was more than I could try to alter.
Now you're going to be in the Whitney Biennial. When does that open?